All right, I'll say, I bid you greetings this evening of your time as you create time to exist. I will not ask you how you are, for I know that you are all perfect, a perfect reflection of anything that you are exploring in any given moment. Take my word for it if you will. Allow me to entitle this interaction, Factoring in Your Excitement. We have been discussing with many of you for some time a simplified version, a simplified explanation for how you create your experience as physical beings. You are fundamentally consciousness, and the idea of your physical life, your physical expression, your linear reality experience is a statement or an expression of your consciousness. So complete is this expression of linear existence that you actually begin to wrap yourself so firmly within the idea of time and space that you actually impose a forgetfulness that you are, in fact, pure consciousness. Often you will begin to recognize once again that you have consciousness and begin to express yourself as having a consciousness, having a mentality, having thought patterns. But truly and most accurately, this is only one way to look at it, and that you do not have a consciousness, but you are a consciousness expressing yourself in physical terms, expressing yourself in linear terms. And the way in which your consciousness interacts with itself to produce the effect you call physical reality and the maintenance of physical experience is through, as we have simplified, the idea that in each and every given moment, you, number one, decide who you are. Number two, you trust that decision. Number three, you act as though you trust that decision, and your actions reflect that decision, and then seem to create an interaction, an expression, result, relationship interaction that seems to produce a result. That result then creates the idea of the face of your life. And so in each and every moment, you literally recreate yourself 100% through decision. I am this person. I am this way. I do this thing. And part of the definition as you make this decision is you build into the decision the idea that I am the person I was but a moment ago with a slight small change. And so the appearance is that you are the same exact person going through an experience. But literally what is happening is in each and every moment you are recreating yourself 100% completely anew with many of the definitions you have heretofore held about yourself built into that decision, and this creates the appearance you call continuity. In making the decision, you register your consciousness. In trusting the decision, you maintain that decision. You continue to decide that that is who you are. And then again, the outward expression in physical reality is your actions, which then embody the trust and the decision and produce a result which seems consistent with the decision. You do this automatically. You do this generally with no one ever telling you this is what you're doing, but nevertheless, this is how you create. When you begin to awaken your consciousness, when you begin to expand into the idea that you can begin to create your reality consciously rather than haphazardly or randomly, you begin to factor in the idea of having the decision be conscious, which generally takes the form of having the decision be according to desire and preference rather than the random idea that you are handed a reality, that you are handed a decision. Even if you create the idea that it seems that you are handed the decision of who you are, only do you get the effect of being the person you are when you agree with that decision. And that is truly simply making a decision. And so, in discussing the idea of creating consciously, we begin with using your desire, using your preference, using your discernment from the infinite potential of ways that you can define yourself to narrow down who it is you want to be, who it is you wish to be. And therefore then make your decision, I am this particular person with these qualities, consciously, according to preference, according to the person that you ideally see yourself to be, which in fact you are. For you are everything. Your consciousness is infinite. Your physical expression is an apparency of being finite. But because you are fundamentally infinite, you contain it all. And the good news, if you wish to look at it this way, is that that means you can choose from anything. And certainly one of the options is to choose to be the person you desire, to be the person, again, you ideally picture that you are. Where we now wish to tie this all together is in discussing the idea of discerning who you are and allowing you to see that you have a built-in mechanism in each and every moment that you can use to choose from what seems to be available in any given moment. We have discussed the idea many times of what you call excitement. And when we ask individuals, what do you think excitement actually is, they will generally describe the emotion, perhaps the sensation, perhaps the physical characteristics of excitement. But what we actually are asking is what causes you to feel excited. And the answer is that that is your sense of discernment telling you that of anything that is available in front of you, the thing that excites you the most, that you can express with integrity, is the strongest choice, is the choice that is most aligned with who you choose to be. That's why it excites you. That's why it invokes within you the vibration of feeling motivated, inspired, passionate, not simply to tease you, not simply because it is a random emotional response, but because it is your inner core, if you will, expressing in no uncertain terms of these choices, this choice is most me. And, as you say in your vernacular, you feel most jazzed about that choice. There are certain distinctions that we wish to perhaps review according to the idea of excitement. Often individuals will ask either each other or us, what is my purpose in life? And this seems to be a very popular subject that you discuss, my purpose. And what I am suggesting is that your purpose is whatever excites you the most. Perhaps you can call that your overall purpose. The thing that stands out as being most exciting, most motivating, most inspiring, creates the idea of passion, can be understood to do so because it is the purpose through which you have expressed your physical being. However, if it seems that you are excited overall, most excited about one thing, that is not your entire purpose, though it is a focus function of your purpose. Allow me to explain. What we have just discussed is the idea of the thing that excites you the most as being, perhaps you can say, not the, but an overall purpose in your life. But there is also the moment-to-moment consideration. In that, in each and every given moment, there are choices available that seem unique to that moment. Different choices than you've ever had. Different choices than you seem to have just had. Different choices than you will have in but a moment's time. And so in each and every moment, by definition, in linear reality, there is a unique set of choices. A set of choices that is unique to that moment. Of those choices, always will one, or perhaps more than one, but a finite number of them will stand out as being more compelling, more exciting. And this is also your purpose. Your overall purpose is the combination of the thing that seems to excite you the most and anything that excites you the most of what's available in any given moment. Now, often, these two things, the overall thing and the idea of the thing in the moment that is most exciting, can seem completely unrelated. In fact, one may actually seem to be a sidetrack of the other. What allows you to understand that they are not opposed or contradictory is the commonality of the excitement about them. And therefore, what I am getting at is that whatever excites you, that you can act upon with integrity in the moment, no matter whether it seems to have anything to do with the overall thing that excites you the most, it absolutely is essential for the thing that excites you the most, or it wouldn't excite you. And therefore, the excitement itself tells you of anything that is available to me right now that I can act upon with integrity. This is the most representative of who I am. Therefore, this is an expression of the purpose of my whole entire life. And so, therefore, you can use the excitement as a tool of alignment. Now, we have mentioned several times in this interaction the idea of acting upon that excitement with integrity. So allow me to, in that sense, explain a little bit more, perhaps concisely, what I mean by integrity. Allow me to start by saying what I do not mean by integrity, which is the moralistic tone that the idea of integrity can mean. And when you interpret integrity as a sense of given morals, then you will understand that integrity can vary across the board, and that the morals of the different factions of your society can sometimes be completely contradictory. So there is no true underlying moralistic integrity that is the integrity for everyone. What we mean by integrity is the understanding that you are consciousness, an infinite consciousness expressing yourself as a physical being, and therefore everything that you experience as a physical reality exists within you and is one thing with you, is an expression of you. And the idea, the understanding of the idea that everything is all one thing, and that you are expressing that idea through your very consciousness, is the idea of your understanding of integration, the interrelated nature of everything in reality. the holographic, if you will, interrelationship of things in reality. So understanding that reality is one integrated whole that you are expressing within you. Integrity, acting with integrity, expresses itself as being mindful that everything is an expression of you, that everything is an extension of you, that everything is a reflection from you and to you. And therefore, the attitude that accompanies that knowingness is a certain respect or validation for what is going on. And when your actions are reflecting that validation, they take on what you refer to as positive tone. So it may seem like functioning with this definition of integrity does create a moral structure, but that is not what we mean when we say it. When we say act with integrity, we mean act with the underlying understanding that your reality is an integrated whole, and treating everything with the same respect as you would demand yourself, for it is all you. Treating yourself, interacting with yourself as seemingly an external reality. And so therefore, from choices that are available, if something stands out as being exciting, either you will find that you can act upon it with this understanding of integrity and express the knowingness, the compassion, the unconditional lovingness that you yourself wish to, in that sense, receive. Or you may understand that it excites you, but acting on it at this time would clearly be out of your integrity. And this is a very important distinction in following your excitement. If you factor out the integrity, you can create the idea you refer to as running amok. If you factor in the integrity, you are always acting from your center, using the feedback of the discernment of excitement to allow you to see who you are in the situation, and then acting as an integrated being, expressing that excitement in physical terms. And so what we mean by factoring in excitement is to use the excitement and the ability to act upon it with integrity to assist you in any given moment to formulate and to reestablish or restate your decision. For when your decision is, I am a being that expresses myself fully, with integrity, with unconditional lovingness to myself and others, because that is a function of integrity, then you will understand that the output of such an attitude is always only positive. And no matter whether that action may seem like the societal norm or not, only can it add unto you and your experience and any other individual who comes in contact with you, because it is an expression of who you are in the most positive of terms. And so using your excitement is quite simple. You can always easily discern what excites you if you are simply willing to say, all right, this is a moment. This is a moment with unique choices. Here are what the choices are. This one and this one and this one stand out as being most exciting. This one that is most exciting does not appear that I can act upon it with integrity, so I'll push that aside. These two appear that I can act on them with integrity. I have two, but one of them is immediately available. That is what lets you know that the timing, the immediate availability, can also be factored in choosing with your excitement and functioning with that excitement through your integrity. So what we are introducing is literally a barometer of who you are, both overall, the thing that excites you the most, and moment to moment to moment to moment, from what is available, the things which stand out as obviously being more compelling. We bring this up to put, as you say, the icing on the cake of understanding that although you may express yourself in many, 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 many ways, as an infinite being through physical means, that you actually have the option to express yourself naturally, flowingly, joyfully, purposefully, effectively, productively, while still being willing to honor who you are to the greatest degree. For in not denying who you are and being willing to express who you are fully, then you become of the greatest service to other individuals who will use you as a reflection in their consciousness from what they are exploring. And this allows individuals to see that, yes, I understand that I can function randomly with haphazard results, but also I see individuals who function purposefully with positive results. Not necessarily always what they expect, but positive outcomes nevertheless. And so, you do yourself the greatest service by being willing to express who you are with, as you say, no holds barred. You do everyone else the greatest service because in expressing yourself that clearly, you allow them the opportunity, not that they need to, but that they have attracted you for a reason, to see an example, an expression of clarity, of purposefulness, of joyfulness. And so, always, in any given moment, it can be completely as obvious, as you say, as the nose on your face, which of the options stands out as being most exciting and that you can act upon it with integrity. One last thing before we proceed to what you call the interaction. Individuals will sometimes play, perhaps you can call it the shell game, with their overall excitement. In other words, they may say, well, I don't really know what excites me. Allow me to say that this is never the case. Perhaps you have allowed yourself to be talked out of what excites you. Perhaps you have taken the weight of the words of others to allow you to make the decision that what excites you is not valid or important. But always, always, always do you and only you know what truly excites you the most. When I say this, this will generally turn the key for many individuals to say, well, all right, yes, I do know what excites me, and I had not wanted to acknowledge it because then I might have to do something about it. Though there still are individuals who will play the next layer of the shell game of saying, well, I still can't even determine what excites me at all. So allow me to offer up what you call the following tool for individuals who feel that they do not have direct access to what excites them the most. And this direct tool can simply be called, all right, the magic lamp. And the idea is to simply ask yourself, if I had a lamp and could rub it and make the wish to be the person I truly wish to be, who would I be? Often with the idea of the miracle, of the magical genie in the lamp, you will allow yourself to drop your guard, drop the excuses, and truly put before you what it is that excites you the most with no holds barred. Then you can look at it and test it to see, well, yes, this does really excite me. Doesn't seem like something I can really do necessarily, and that's why I couldn't acknowledge it. But it does excite me. And you will find that the moment you are willing to validate that it truly is the most exciting thing for you, you will find that your attitude in that moment will already shift, and you will begin to entertain the idea, well, no one had ever said I could ever do this. But perhaps, just perhaps, maybe it is possible. And that is the beginning. Deciding to be excited. Allowing yourself to be excited. At which point, factoring in moment to moment to moment excitement into your decision. All right? a circumstance, a series of choices comes along. And you say, all right, I am this person. I am this type of person, whatever parameters you plug into that. When you notice which excites you the most, you can embellish that decision to include the idea of the thing that excites you. I am this particular person who likes to do this particular thing. And the excitement allows you to further define and hone in on who it is you are. At first, it may seem as though you are seeking, searching, all right, from these choices, which excites me? Which excites me here? Which excites me now? Which excites me now? But this is only because you have denied yourself this vibration as being frivolous for so long. Once you begin to consciously decide to discern what excites you from the choices available and begin to do this consistently, you will find it will become quite automatic. You will simply know, oh, there's the exciting thing. I don't even need to know the other choices. And what this creates is a moment to moment to moment connecting of the dots that altogether creates the picture of the most exciting thing. And though one particular set of dots and lines between them, again, may appear to have nothing to do with the overall exciting thing, when you step back and look at the whole picture, those dots and the lines that connect them were essential. The picture would be incomplete. The picture would be incomplete without them. And that is when it becomes more evident that certain things that excite you in the moment that you can act on with integrity are actually related to the most exciting thing, no matter what the apparency is. And so, if it is necessary, if you are denying to yourself what it is that truly excites you, rub the lamp, make the wish, watch for what you wish for, and learn more about who you are from seeing what you choose. Only you know you. If someone else tells you who you are, and you then fulfill that prophecy of their version of who you are, it is not because they have defined you. It is because at some point, in some given moment, you have made the decision of agreeing with their assessment. And in trusting that decision and acting that way, you put out the expression that seems to confirm they were right. They knew me better than I knew myself. But that, I remind you, is not possible. You know you the best. And your excitement is your number one key to knowing who you are, to allowing choices to stand out in relief of the rest of the choices in a very obvious and serendipitous way. So therefore, if you are willing to factor in your excitement, then the process of conscious self-expression becomes immediately fun, immediately joyful, immediately exciting and invigorating. And, do not miss this point unless you wish, immediately productive. No matter what anyone else says. And you will connect more dots as you begin to do this to make it more apparent that you are being productive by acting on who you know yourself to be in each and every moment, rather than someone else's version of who they think you are. This is the way that we function as beings, though again, quite automatically. We simply have this approach and do not even give it any thought, as you will not once it simply becomes, as you say, old hat. Allow me to share with you that the main reason that we interact with members of your society is the fact, perhaps you would say the mere fact, that it excites us to interact with you. We understand, from our point of view, you are an expression of us. You are a reflection to me of my consciousness. And so therefore, when you say something, particularly that I do not expect, I immediately learn more about myself. Since one of my purposes is to know as much about myself as possible, I find this quite exciting. And so I thank you for allowing me to express my excitement and the collective excitement of members of my civilization in this, perhaps you would call it, quite unconventional manner. I thank you for the honor of your willingness to share your version of your consciousness with us. For again, we grow and learn that much more about the universe and therefore that much more about ourselves. And this is a great gift that is not taken lightly by us. And we thank you for it. In return for your willingness to express who you are and include us in the picture, I thank you and ask you how, through sharing, we may mutually be of service to each other. Sharing